Well, them tickets, man.
Man, I'm so fucking tired of people uh talking shit about Jackson Arnold, man. I think
Hey,
Jackson Arnold might be my favorite white boy since B Rabbit.
since Bobby Flay.
Don't you love those? Don't you love those Detroit people? They're amazing. I love people from Michigan. They're my favorite. They're my favorite. No
Wait, is
bullshit.
Jackson Arnold from Michigan for real?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
I
from
was,
Michigan too.
I was just saying, those. I just fuck with Michigan people, man. They're good. They're good folks.
Sam, how long did it take you to recover, Sam? Mentally and physically.
Mentally, I was right all the time.
Okay, there we go.
Physically, took a couple days. I put down 24 beers on Saturday last week.
Jeez.
24. This guy is insufferable. Jesus Christ.
How long were y'all tailgating?
25. Lord Jesus. This guy's a menace.
Before walking in the stadium.
It doesn't even sound fun.
Yeah, 20.
It was a lot of fun.
Were they all Bud Lights?
4 beers, Jesus.
Yeah, it didn't go bad until I had a couple whiskeys after the game.
Oh yeah,
That's when the fun really starts, huh?
yeah. That's when it goes left.
It had to be a tame situation until, yeah.
I told him he wasn't texted back. I said, "Oh yeah, Tigerland definitely got him, man. It's over." Tigerland scares me though, man. I went there, I think 2 years ago for that Tennessee game. I saw kids barely being able to walk. I'm like, oh God, really in Louisiana, baby. Get the stream out.
If you join, make sure you like the video. Like the video, share it. The whole, the whole nine. Do all that.
Yeah. We're about to start soon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in here, we love you. If you're not in here, well,
we know
hate
where you are.
We're going to come find you.
We will come find you.
Let's see.
Look at Jake. He's like getting all like stoic.
Yeah, he's trying to act like he's reserved. He's not reserved.
Look at this
man.
guy. Look at this fucking guy.
I can't even see you guys. Is that supposed to be the
Yeah,
case?
it's supposed to be, but don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Why you want to see us anyway? They showed up to see you.
True. Yeah, we're about to have a single screen on Jake.
Yeah, man. Just to hear the insights of a Michigan man. I'm sorry, a Cincinnati man. Cheers for Michigan.
And Michigan State during basketball season. Don't forget
That spread is nasty, man. That went down. If I lose 2 games and Burrow in the same before October, man. Oh.
Yeah,
all right, all right, Roddy, it's on you.
All right. Are we live? What did Ray J say? Charlemagne, are we live?
Are we live? Are we live?
Welcome to week 4. It's already week 4, man. That's kind of crazy. But welcome to week 4 Pay for Play. It's your boy. A little different setup today for me. I don't know if y'all can see. Hold on. Let me see. I'm not flexing. I'm just showing you. Hey. You know when your homegirls went to Miami and they're like, we're in Miami! Yeah, we live, baby. Pay for Play week 4. Glad for y'all to join us. Please make sure to give us a follow at Pay for Play on X. Please make sure to subscribe to us at the Daily Bread Network. We are live on YouTube and X. Please, please, please make sure we can see your comments. Give us your best bets. Give us everything. Like, pause, but just, make sure they're with. Okay, make sure they're winners because last week, it was a good week. I would say that for sure. We had a lot of interesting matchups. Jake finally saw his team, do something on the offensive end, so I know he's happy about that. Sosa, not so much. We don't have to get into that. And Sam,
Yeah, we do.
winners. I'll start with you. You were on location last week. How was Baton Rouge?
It was incredible. I mean, one of those games where it's probably more fun to be in the stadium than watch it live. Because, I mean, the offense wasn't doing a whole lot, but the defense, just electric to watch. We were losing count of interceptions in the stadium. Just going absolutely berserk on the pick six. It's a magical place.
I heard that people from Louisiana have trouble counting to 5, so I believe you. I believe you. I
I mean,
100%.
I was between 5 or 6. I just lost count of what it was. So, but yeah, it was electric. It's one of those places you can't describe fully unless you go and experience it yourself. And it was on full display. I mean, rocking from start to finish. Florida's a dead program. They got coaches slapping opposing players on the sideline. And I couldn't be happier. I was smoking cigars, smoking the Florida pack after the game. It was great. And then to top it off, watch Notre Dame completely shit down their leg to blow it. So,
So
what a weekend.
0-2. But look, the fix is in for you guys, bro. Like, you're upset right now. I get it. But you're still ranked. And you're 0-2. And we can't hear you.
Yeah. No, I said we let Sam say his part. His team barely put up 20 fucking points against Florida. But I digress. They won. We lost. Yeah, listen, I got no excuses. Tyler Buckner, he did that on purpose. He clearly dislikes Marcus Freeman, and he wants to continue to make his life hell because he was never able to hold on to the starting job because he lost to fucking Marshall. I'm not gonna sit here with the sob story. We're a damn good football team, in my opinion. We came up short both times against two teams that are currently top 10 teams in America, respectfully. And as much as people, all you SEC fans who have to watch, other conferences thrive right now because everybody can pay everyone, I'm a play the game like y'all play the game. Who has 2 better losses than us? Exactly. Leave me the fuck alone.
I expected you to have no shame, brother. Stay the same. Jake,
What shame? Who has 2 better losses than us?
I can't argue with that. If when it comes to losing, nobody has.
See, you had to take. Why you had to take it there though? When it comes to lose, all right, you got
That's
it.
what you said. That's
you got
what you
it, bro.
said.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I'm not hurt or nothing. I'm just,
fair enough.
not used to being in this situation with Marcus Freeman as my head coach as of last year. I mean, we did, but then again, we lost to Marshall and
BK's recruits,
Northern Illinois. What'd you say, Sam?
0-2 without BK's recruits. Some are saying.
I could have swore Riley Leonard came in the transfer portal. You got it. You got it, brother.
0-2 without BK's
you got it, brother.
Yeah.
I listen. If you're gonna dish it out, you should be able to take it. Listen.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. Because last year when y'all were in the weeds and fucking sucked, I was doing the same thing. Respectfully, you got it. You know what I'm saying, y'all looking like something. I can't even lie, man. I can't even lie. LSU looking like something for real.
Now, Jake, you finally saw a good offensive performance after that tough one in Norman. So, how are you feeling about today? We'll get into it. Trust me, we're gonna get into it. That's one of the bigger games of the day. But you were calling for Sharon's job. You said he should stay suspended. He should. You might snitch on him. That's what you told me. I mean, you might give him more information. That's what you told me. Is that true?
Yeah, word is Sharon gave the go to open up the playbook. We'll see if that's the case. I don't know how much I believe that. But when you let Bryce do Bryce things, it's going to be a good outcome for your team. So looking forward to today. Run the ball all game.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna get into it. First, I just want to thank everybody for joining us week 4. We'll be back at the crib. Personally, the dogs are off. I don't really like to talk a lot about myself, but look, man, gonna wanna. That's all I can tell you. Gonna wanna. Look, man, what do you want me to say? I mean, the kid showed up. He played well. He defied the odds. Whatever you want to tell yourself, it happened. So shout out to Tennessee. I mean, they gave us a really good game. I can't even lie to you. And I was nervous. But hashtag college kickers. I mean, it's never going to fail. Like, the kid, he had the front bangs. He didn't tuck them into his helmet. He looked 17 years old. Okay. And look, I reverse jinxed it. I said, he's going to make it. I told my girl, he's going to make it. Like, it's fine. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? We're winning in life. You know what I'm saying? We have a beautiful child. We're in a hotel right now. We're about to celebrate your birthday. I was trying to be optimistic. And he missed. So
I was waiting for the first like Pat Beverly reference. You're winning at life, huh?
Oh, look, look, my point guard, he doesn't stand on the scores table when he wins a playing game.
I was waiting. I know you had to, because I know you're Trey Young's, personal counsel. So I get it. I totally get it.
I mean, look, my client did what he had to do on that podcast. He didn't have a podcast like that. And man,
why am I even doing this?
Look, and I asked him the same thing. I text him. So
fair enough.
It is what it is. But good week 3 for all of us. We'll go ahead and go on to week 4. First game of the slate. I'm here. All right. You see that in the back? They're excited about this football team down here, y'all. I can't lie. I see people wearing U gear. I saw people in the airport throwing this up. I was kind of shocked. So obviously, like Sam said, the Gators are coming off a 5 interception performance from PJ Lagway in a 20-10 defeat, and they're on the road again in Miami, in-state rivalry. I've been watching the news a lot while I've been down here, and everybody is excited about this football team. And I think you get to see the, culture that, Jimmy Johnson, playmaker, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Reggie Wayne, all those guys created back, before I was born. But still, everybody's excited about the U again. So Miami at home, catch it 7.5. They've looked like probably one of the best teams in America. Total at 51.5. I will go with Jake to start. How are you feeling about the Gators? I mean, everybody is saying that they're dead in the water. Billy's going to get fired. They're getting the buyout money ready, but they've only allowed 2 offensive touchdowns all year, and they're still 1-2. So how are you feeling about this matchup today? Is this going to be a Miami wash like probably everybody thinks?
I think they are gonna. I mean, they played LSU relatively close, I would say. I mean, they gave them the ball 5 times, lost by 10. I have a bet with Spody on this game straight up, so I'm rocking with Miami in this one. I think they'll win relatively easily. I think it could be close for like the first half, but I think Miami's trenches and their defense take over in the second half, and I think Lagway might stink. I don't know if it. I'm okay with like 2 picks or 3, but when you're throwing 5, like that's crazy. Like he was just throwing it at that point. Like he was seeing ghosts at the end of that game, and I think Miami wants to be the Kings of Florida, and I think this game is the game that they can say they're the big dogs in Florida. Unless, do they play Florida State this year?
Yeah,
they do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah,
they do.
They have to.
Okay, so they'll have to solidify that then. But I think they want this one. They're always in Florida shadow. They have been for 2 decades at this point, and this is the highest Miami's probably been ranked in the last 15 years. So I think they're ready for this one, and I think they get the dub at home.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. How are you feeling, Sam? Obviously, like you said, you saw those 5 interceptions last week. Can the Gators bounce back is the question.
No, I mean they're a doormat. They're going to be a doormat until Sunbelt Bill's out of there. They went on a nice little run in last year. That's all fine and dandy, but I think you see just exactly what kind of culture they have. I don't think they've exactly quit on Billy yet. I think that comes probably after they lose this one. But to me, the line stinks to high hell. It's been at 7.5 all week. It's been, I think it's like 96% of the money on Florida or Miami, and it's still just stayed right there at 7.5, and it's pretty similar to last week. But I think Miami's going to come out strong. Like Jake said, it's an in-state rivalry. I think Florida's defense will be able to keep it close for a little bit, but eventually Miami pulls away, and I think they win by 14-21. So yeah, I'm on Miami as well. I don't know if I mean I personally saw DJ Lagway suck it up last week, but it's pretty hard whenever you don't play spring and then you don't play all of fall camp and you don't throw at all during those times, and then you just start the season cold. So yeah, I think this kid just needs to get healthy. And we're probably going to see him in a different jersey next year. So I think the jury's still out. He probably needs to get out of Billy Napier's system and before we can really evaluate it. But yeah, I'm on Miami in this one, and I think they roll pretty easily.
All right. Yeah, the line does stink to high hell. I took Miami last week against USF in the first half because I don't really trust Cristobal to like finish out a spread that high, even though they did. The offense looked good, both sides, even after another delay. Obviously you can see out here it's gorgeous today, so I don't think we're gonna have a problem with that. But Sosa, it's on you. How you feeling about this matchup?
I think Sam made a really good point. It doesn't look like they've quit on him just yet because the defense just kept getting DJ Lagway the ball just for him to give it to the other team. This game is where they quit, like Sam said. By halftime, this game will be over. I know people love the Florida defense and what they did last week. I honestly believe that Miami, this game means a lot more to Miami today from a recruiting standpoint. Florida has been able to get some guys to pull up that were committed to Miami, that have transferred from Miami, that just chose Florida over Miami. They want to go out here today and stick it to them. There's going to be a ton of in-state recruits at this game.
Yep.
And I think that's well. Yep. And that's the separating factor today for me. I think Miami goes into their home stadium. First, it's going to be the first game in the stadium this year where it has not rained.
Mm-hmm.
It rained for the Notre Dame game. It rained. It was an almost 3-hour rain delay last week against USF.
Mm-hmm.
They get good weather. They're at home. This Miami defense gave DJ Lagway every opportunity to win the game and give them a chance against LSU, and he completely did them a disservice. I think Florida's defense is probably decent for about a quarter. The levee's going to break today, man. Miami by I think everyone's in unison here. I think Miami going away 2+ touchdowns. And we're going to be waiting around through tomorrow to see if Billy still has a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I put it at like minus 350 pregame scuffle as well.
Yeah, there's going to be beef.
Read it wrong. That's minus 3,500.
Yeah, there's going to be beef before the game. And I can see why. I mean, obviously, Florida, they were charged up to go to Baton Rouge. Like, imagine how it feels to, again, be on the road against an in-state rival. They're going to be talking their shit. And like Sosa said, I think I saw a tweet about, I think there's over 10 of the top 50 kids in 2026 are going to be at this game. So Cristobal is definitely going to want to show out. But I'm with Sam. The line stinks, man. So I think in the first half, it's going to be a defensive battle. That's why I took the under in the first half, 26.5, minus 110. I'm doing all Hard Rock bets today because we're in Florida. So, you know what I'm saying? We got that luxury now. No more Bovada for me. But yeah, I think both defenses are really, really good. I think this is, no offense to y'all, but clearly the best defense that Miami has faced up to this point. And I think it's going to give Carson Beck a couple of challenges.
You're right.
So
You're absolutely right. It's no debate. Florida's defense, from a talent standpoint, this year is better than Notre Dame. You saw last week the secondary was an absolute joke. It was putrid.
Yeah, I just cannot ignore that a team that's only allowed 2 touchdowns all year through 3 games is going to come out here and stink up the joint. I think they're going to come out fired up in the first half. And what happens beyond that, I don't know. I can't tell you. But, yeah, that would be my play. Show exclusive. First half, total under 26.5. We got anything else on this game, gentlemen, or can we move on to the next one?
I'll add. I didn't play it, but I would like to see what Florida's team total is because I emptied my account on the under on that last week, and it was the easiest bet I've ever made. So I think it was like 20.5 last week. If it's over 20 again, I would take the under.
I do have one. Oh,
doesn't that total seem like that game total seems too high? I thought it would be like 46.5 or 45.5. Like I agree with Sam. Like I took the same bet last week. I said Florida would be lucky to score 14 points against LSU. What'd they score?
10.
10? Yeah, 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. It kind of scares me that the total's at 51.5. Maybe they expect some points in this game.
I do have one last
Florida
thing.
20.5 at even money.
My bad. I do have one last thing I want to say in regards to Cristobal. Is Cristobal the most non-talked about ex-Alabama assistant? I feel like we treat all of Nick Saban's disciples a little bit differently than Mario Cristobal.
He gives most of them a bad name.
Do people forget that?
I didn't know he was at Bama.
Yeah, he was an O-line coach. Mm-hmm.
And he was there. He wasn't just there for one season as a coordinator. He was there for a little minute, and like, you know, and he gets no credit for building a football program. I just want to throw that out there. You know what I mean? They talk about how he went to Miami, but it's like, bro, like this guy's
his thing has been like choking.
Yeah,
like
Jerry's
fumbling. Like he's not been like most of the Saban guys. Like I mean, outside of Jimbo, like Jimbo gave most of them a bad name too.
I would say most of the Saban guys don't have to go. Like when they used to go against Saban after they left. Like he's never.
Yeah, okay. That
Saban.
part, I guess, part of it is because of the conference in which he plays. That's fair. That's very fair. All right. So so obviously we're talking about this game. I'll let Roddy intro it if you want.
Ole Miss, man, big win. What's their backup's name? I forgot the kid's name. Austin Simmons.
Booty butt cheeks.
I don't know, brother. You might not have a job when them ankles heal up. I mean, the Ole Miss kid came in and looked good. He came from damn Ferris State, and he came in there and lit it up. I think he runs Lane's offense efficiently, which is all he needs. Like Lane is very much in the Kyle Shanahan bag where he's like, just do what I tell you and we'll be successful. Like that's kind of Lane Kiffin's motto. And we've seen it, over and over with, quarterbacks that have been mid on the next level. But ultimately, I mean, they work in college. So they're going down there to Nolans, facing my boy, former BYU.
Nope, they're in
Game's in Oxford. Game's in Oxford.
Oh, it's in Oxford. Okay. So I think that coming home, Ole Miss they're a team that I am like kind of up and down on because I think offensively, like I said, if their backup continues to play well, then I think they could have a chance. But that defense kind of stinks. So I don't see them doing anything in the SEC. Obviously, I think the big dogs of the SEC have been established. But I'll start there with you, Sam. How are you feeling about this one? Ole Miss 12.5. It's a little high with the total is 61.5 too. I think we're going to see some points today.
It's way too high. I'm all over Tulane in this one. Kind of similar to or opposite of the Miami-Florida game. People are just hammering this Ole Miss spread. I saw it was like 95-5 split on the money for Ole Miss on this one, and on DraftKings it hasn't moved all week. It's been right at 11.5 all week. I think Tulane is the best Group of 5 team that we see this year. I think they're going to be in the playoff as the Group of 5 representative, and they've already got 2 wins against Power 4 teams, and I really think they can get it done today, just because Ole Miss's defense is absolutely terrible. And I would probably say it's the second worst in the SEC outside of who they played last week in Arkansas. And that was one of the easier overs on the board last week, 61.5. That game sailed over. And I think it's too many points to give Tulane with the defense this bad. I understand it's going to be at home, but you also have a little bit of a look-ahead spot with Ole Miss playing LSU next week. I think Tulane has something to prove. They're trying to get that Group of 5 spot for the playoff. They kind of got a gift in the transfer portal late. Retzloff coming from BYU after he was kicked out of school. So. Yeah, I mean I was on them last week against Duke. I think they have another good showing today. I think Summerall is probably the next guy that gets like tapped coming from Group of 5 into the next big Power 4 job. And yeah, I think he's got this program humming. I think Tulane covers, and I'm going to sprinkle a little on the money line as well.
All right. I like it. Jake, how you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this one. I mean, the Ole Miss QB from Ferris State, he's a baller. I don't think it matters who you put back there for Ole Miss, to be honest. I think that offense is just going to go. It has in the years past. Tulane, I mean, beating those Power 5 teams, I mean, that's cute. You're stepping up a weight class in Ole Miss. The 12 might be a little too many points, but I've been betting Ole Miss every week, so I'm going to probably stick with it and find some action in this game. I don't know quite what I have yet. Maybe I'll throw something in at the end of the show for that.
Yeah, that beat on Ole Miss. I can't get over that Ole Miss and Kentucky game, man. I really can't. Like, it's just, what the fuck, man. I'm so disappointed.
Field goal at the end.
Crazy.
At least
They voluntarily took Sage Ryan out of the transfer portal. That's all you need to know about this defense.
Yeah. And I mean, they lost a lot. You know, that last year they were the transfer portal all-stars because, you know, not a lot of kids are pulling up to Oxford. Let's just be honest. So Lane had to do that. But we'll end it off with Sosa. How you feeling about this one, man?
I'm in agreement with Sam. I mean, this Tulane team, they win today. They're in the conference. They're in the championship race as far as the playoffs. Right, like they're in. I think they're in, win or lose. But if they're especially if they're competitive, I think that the offense is good enough. Shout out to them beating their former quarterback last week. The Retzlaff story is one that I love. The fact that he just bet on himself. He showed up there as a walk-on. So in this one, I like Tulane to compete in the first half. I like the 7.5 in the first half. I think it's too many points. I think. In the second half is when you see these SEC teams kind of play better and take over as they can wear on the teams that have their athletes just aren't as good, in my opinion. So like I said, my plays are on the screen. I like the first half team total for Tulane. I think Tulane can score 2 touchdowns against this defense. I do not think that this Ole Miss defense is as good as years past. They got a lot of people that left, especially players that I think are going to be playmakers at the next level. The defense just not the same. The offense looks like what you get from Lane Kiffin every year, which is they go through the cupcakes to start the season, and this is the game where you know if they have anything as far as moving forward. So my one in this, my 2 plays, Tulane plus 7.5 in the first half, and I do like their first half team total over 11.5. That's what I love in this one. Again, not going to take a side. I do agree with Sam, though. I think Tulane can fight till the bitter end against anyone. I mean, based on what they've shown us thus far. I think that we were looking at USF kind of the same way last week, but I think we kind of knew that USF, they don't have it in the trenches for like a team like Miami. I think Tulane can compete with this version of Ole Miss for certain for 4 quarters. I do believe that.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't got much on this game. I'll definitely be watching, but it should be interesting. I think points is the main motto, because I don't know if either defenses are stopping the nosebleed this week. Anything else on this one, gentlemen? Nope. All right, let's get into it. Which one we going to? You want Indiana, Illinois? I want to talk about this one. Actually, stay right here. All right. Sam, you just mentioned totals that stink. Why is this total going down so much? Okay. I like Oklahoma. I think I saw this at 50 on Monday. Okay. I like Oklahoma's defense. I really do. Okay. I understand they're good. They're probably one of the best defensive units in all of college football. I get it. I just think there's going to be more than 46.5 points today. That's just me. I think I'm kind of with Sosa on what he was sharing on Twitter, and I'll let him get into it. I kind of like Auburn this year. And I don't say that often, because obviously they're one of our biggest rivals and I hate them. But Jackson Arnold, his ability to run, he's got 2 NFL receivers. The run game's okay. The offensive line's pretty good. They've looked well through 3 weeks. Obviously, a big win in week 1 against Baylor. So, look, I think Mateer, obviously, at this point in time, probably is the leader for the Heisman Trophy. I think – I don't know if – I think we need to see a little bit more from us, Sam. Sorry, we just do, because Mateer is doing he has the highlights. That's what I think is the differentiating factor as of right now. He has the jump throw. He has the arm angles. He has the throws that NFL scouts are posting on X and Twitter or whatever. But my play in this game would be the over 46.5. I know there's sharp action on the under, but I think there's going to be points today. I don't know. That's just me. So, Sosa, I want to go to you first, because you had if you were in the waiting room with us, you had some things to say about Jackson Arnold. So I want you to share that with everybody now that everyone's here.
Beginning of the season, obviously I had Auburn beating Baylor. I think a lot of people were higher on Baylor than a lot of teams. Their quarterback's not bad though. He's won over a little bit of my respect. I think he's pretty good. I think in this one, we're giving Auburn or Oklahoma a lot of credit for a game in which you look at the game against Michigan, and I'm not saying that Oklahoma didn't look good, but I think Michigan kind of made it easy for them. No disrespect, but I think there was no creativity from Michigan on defense or on offense. I think their offensive trenches could have leaned on Oklahoma a little bit more and given them some issues as far as like using their quarterback as a runner, which they just simply refused to do. And then the next week he runs for like 150 yards. I love Mateer. I think Mateer's looked really, really good. This is without question the best team he's faced all season thus far. I think on both sides of the ball, the trenches on both sides of the ball, Oklahoma's not going to be able to punk Auburn. I think also because Jackson Arnold has ran the ball so much to start the year, we don't realize that his receiving group is pretty damn good too. He's got some weapons on the outside that I just don't think that they've utilized enough yet. And I think that's coming. Huge factor in this one. Venables is great against mobile quarterbacks. He is extremely good against mobile quarterbacks, kind of negating what they can do, trying to keep him in a box or just keep things in front of his defense. I like Auburn to fight in this one. I think 6.5 is a little too much. I think their defense can keep him in it. My issue and worry is this. Venables has to have a book on Jackson Arnold. He's his former quarterback. He also understands that in order for me to win this game, I got to make sure that Jackson Arnold is a thrower of the football. That is the exact same thing that Freeze's defense has to do to Mateer. Love Mateer. Make Mateer a passer. You have to force him to be a passer, because once he starts ripping off 4, 5, 6 runs on one drive, it's curtains. There's no leverage on for the defense. There's no opportunities for the defense to actually pick matchups, because once that offense starts rolling, it becomes an avalanche, and you don't need the best receivers to go out there and get open on every play. All in all, I think this is going to be the best college football game we've gotten thus far this season until the last one that we talk about today involving Jake's team. I think we're going to get a damn good football game in that one too. But I think that there's an expectation for Oklahoma to come out here and smoke them. I don't think that's the case. I think Auburn will compete very hard for at least 3 quarters. And that's what I expect. I think the 6.5 is a little too much. I also think Auburn will compete in the first half. I also want to throw this out there. I could be dead wrong too. Venables could come out here and serve this motherfucker Arnold. That's a possibility. That's a direct possibility.
Yeah. Well, Jake, I'll go to you on this one. Obviously you've played this Oklahoma defense, so how do you think they'll fare against Jackson Arnold? Is this going to be a Jackson Arnold revenge game?
It could be. I was reading a report that said he's stayed off social media. He declined media availability for the week.
Who did LeBron?
His teammates won't answer questions about his return. Who does this guy think he really is? Honestly, who does this you're not some big shot QB that left because the team sucked or something. You were terrible. The team was bad. You were also bad. You were part of the reason they sucked. I think Auburn has the horses at wide receiver, and I think the defense is coming along. And I agree with what Sosa said. I don't think we challenged Oklahoma at all. Granted, they do have a great defense and Venables, but we didn't put any pressure on them. We didn't throw the ball downfield. We were running the ball on 3rd and 8. We were giving up in that game. So I think this is going to be a closer game, and I actually disagree with you. I think this game goes under the projected total. I think it's a low-scoring game with limited possessions. That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Sam, you're shaking your head, so
I'm with you, brother. Over 47.5 is an official play. I'm on. I'll keep it short. Sosa said kind of what I wanted to say. I think Venables kind of has a little bit of a book on Jackson Arnold and what he wants to do and ways to keep him from running, because that's really what took their offense to the next level against Baylor, was him getting out of the pocket and running and getting his feet going. So they're able to keep him in the pocket. I think Venables will be able to do that. He's a great defensive mind, regardless of what you think of him as a head coach. Both teams have survived their early test. I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be a great college football game. I think it'll be close back and forth. I think Oklahoma just pushes it to maybe a 10-point win late in the 4th quarter to seal the game. So
you were going to say something before we get off this one?
No. We can let me pull the next game up.
Okay. Yeah.
Baylor, Arizona State.
Yeah, man. Ugh. Jackson Arnold revenge game. I thought I'd never see it after he got put on the pine for a kid who, I think he's a so much determination though all-star, that backup over there at Oklahoma. But, is what it is. All right. The Sun Devils and the Baylor Bears.
The teams are wrong on our helmets. Are we doing Utah or are we doing
Bro, listen. This was early this morning, all right? My fault.
You're good. We see the logos.
The over and under are correct, but the names underneath, that ain't Utah and Texas Tech and Arizona State. I promise you that. Sure. It's not. Those are incorrect.
So we got,
my fault.
The Baylor Bears, they're hosting Arizona State. Good Big 12 matchup here. Obviously, Arizona State and my guy Jordan Tyson. I mean, he for real, boy. That boy good. The total's at 60.5. I don't think there's gonna be much offense. Yeah,
what?
I said let me correct. I don't think there's gonna be much defense. So I think that, we saw what happened to Baylor in week 1. Auburn just came in there and lit it up. I think it was 21-0 or 21-7, something like that in first 15 minutes of the game. So in this matchup, points. Again, points. Now, I am going to be interested in Sawyer because a lot of NFL scouts are kind of looking at, his performances. They're looking at the stats. I don't think Arizona is defensively a great team. Obviously, they lost to Mississippi State. Even though Mississippi State is not the Mississippi State of last year. But anyway, I think Sawyer might start creeping up draft boards, and this is a good chance to, really solidify that. So, Jake, I'll start with you first. How are you feeling about this matchup today?
I love Arizona State in this game. I love Arizona State in this game. I mean, they lost. What? Who'd they lose to? God, I'm blank. Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yeah.
Pathetic. Embarrassing. That's
It was
embarrassing.
at the end of the game. It was at the end.
Embarrassing. You can't lose to Mississippi State. They're a joke. It's like losing to Rutgers at this point. Yeah, I think Arizona State goes in. I think they feature Jordan Tyson. I think there's a lot of points. A lot, like you said, alluded to earlier. I don't think there's any defense in this one. I think this is where Sam Levitt, I was high on him coming into the year, and he's been a little up and down, I would say. Not living up to expectations so far. I think he has a good game, and I think they go in there and get a much-needed win tonight in Waco.
Okay, all right. Sam, you're on the same agenda. Points.
Oh, Baylor is the over team of the year. They are old school Big 12. We grew up on football where they have a good quarterback, they have a good offense, and for some reason they have a bad defense under Dave Aranda, which is a little perplexing because he's one of the best defensive coordinators I've watched over the last few years. But yeah, they are an over team this year. I think you could put this at 65-70, and I'd probably still take the over. But yeah, I think points. I took it at 59.5 earlier this week. I'd play it up to 64.5 regardless. So I don't see this game being anywhere close to under. Baylor is the over team of the year.
Absolutely. All right, Sosa, how you feeling?
I like Kenny Dillingham. I think Sam Levitt sucks. I think we talk about him and pretend like he's better than he is when he got backpacked by Cam Scatterbo last season. And he's getting backpacked by Jordan Tyson this year. Love Dillingham as a coach. I think has a very bright future as a star, as a head coach. I think Baylor needs it more. Aranda's really on the hot seat. Dillingham, having overachieved last year at the job, he has a lot more security. I think that if Aranda don't win at least 9 games, I think he's smoked. So I'm going to take Baylor in a close one at the crib. Don't trust Arizona State on the road. We just saw what they did going on the road against Mississippi State. Also not mad at the over. I think both teams should be able to score enough points to cover that easily, like Jake said. Baylor gives it up, and they can score as well. So not opposed to any of that.
All right. Well, I don't got nothing else on this one, boys, unless y'all do. Nope. All right. Let's keep it pushing. Points. Again, please, if you're on Twitter, like the video, retweet it, send it to somebody, send it to your mama, auntie, granny, all of them. And also, please subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. We appreciate y'all. All right. Now, time to go to Sam's Indiana Hoosiers. They're going up against the Illini, which still is a weird team name for me. But anyway, we'll keep it moving. Obviously, Indiana hasn't played anybody, okay? I know we've been smoking them through the filter against, the school of the blind and the children of the poor, up until this point. But I think Illinois, they are a team that is kind of flying under the radar for me because I think, although I don't think Altmaier is great, I do think he can do enough to win for that team, and the pieces around him are pretty good. So, but Indiana's catching a touchdown. I can't confidently say that this is going to be a walkthrough from them. Look, I understand Mendoza is, a really good player. All right, I get it. And I actually have something that I wanted to read. And I'm sorry if I go off camera here, but I got to pull up the stats because we're a reputable podcast. Okay. These are – can y'all still hear me? We still good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Luke Altmaier this season. I'm reading Luke Altmaier and Fernando Mendoza stats this year. Luke Altmaier, 72% completion percentage, 709 passing yards. Fernando Mendoza, 72% completion percentage, 708 passing yards. Luke Altmaier has 8 touchdowns. Fernando Mendoza has 9. Luke Altmaier has a rushing touchdown. Fernando Mendoza has 2. So essentially, both of these quarterbacks have been kind of the same. And Indiana's getting a touchdown. I know they face different competition. I understand that. But everybody's been, talking about Mendoza and how his stock is going up, but nobody really seems to talk about Altmaier at all. I obviously know, Duke is probably worse than we thought. That probably goes to it. But I'll start with you, Sam, since this is your people. How are you feeling about this one, going to the Illinois, Champaign? That's where it is.
No, it's in Indiana. But yeah, it is. The line doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I've watched it just go up and up and up all week. I think it was 3.5 or 4 earlier this week, and it's gotten all the way up to a touchdown, like you said. And this is IU's first real test, Mendoza's first real test as a Big Ten player. Illinois, we talked about them, I think, earlier this year. They had the most returning production in all of college football. They're a solid squad. I'm not too low on, I'm not going to retroactively take away what I saw in the Duke game where, yes, Duke was able to move the ball up and down the field, but they locked down and shut them out in the second half, and they really closed the door on them, and that was an impressive win for me. It was an early test on the road. Regardless of what Duke ends up being this year, I think at the beginning of the year, their season's still in front of them. And that's kind of what I lean Illinois, but I'm not playing it. But I am on the over in this one. I think both quarterbacks are able to move the ball up and down the field. I think Indiana does have a good defense. And we saw Illinois kind of lock down against Duke in the one game that they've really played against better competition. So I think it'll be fun, back and forth, good nightcap. But yeah, I lean the over here, but I have the over as a play, 52.5. But then I would lean Illinois, but not on it.
Jake, do you disagree? I see you over there. How you feeling, man?
This is a system play. You're a lower ranked team, and you're getting a touchdown. Indiana belt to ass. Belt. I think Indiana wins by two scores in this one. That's just a system play for me. This is how I bet. When I see a lower ranked team getting a full touchdown on the line, I got to take it. I think Mendoza, Surratt, who's his favorite target? Who's he been going to, Sam, this year? Cooper? He's been throwing it to Cooper a lot,
I
right?
haven't watched Indiana. They're on my shit list.
Man,
What?
That's crazy. Thought he was an Indiana fan. Hasn't watched them.
Jake,
That's crazy.
Hold on, Jake. Jake, back. After what you did last year, you go sit here and tell me.
Last year I was fine with the SIG, but once he started pulling the SEC bullshit at media days, because
okay, all right. I'm with
your
you.
mom. I'm sure your mom's very disappointed.
She is. I've told her straight to her face.
Okay, fair. Okay, as long as that's
as soon as I saw that, I texted her and I said, your man needs to shut his mouth, because you can't. You can't use the SEC logic whenever you're trading out Virginia home and home, who's a terrible team, who you probably would beat, for Kennesaw State. You just can't use that logic. You're just using it for clickbait, and that's fine. Whenever you want to stand up, if you want to say, Google me, I win, and then back it up, that's fine. But there's no substance whenever you say, I'm using the SEC method whenever you're trading out Virginia for Kennesaw State right before the season.
Yeah. See, I was going to come up here and apologize because I might have disrespected Cignetti and disrespected the team and taken their team total under wins the day that betting was opened on the 2025 season, and I've been wrong. They're going to win 8 games. Also, I can't be mad, bro. You want to be good, or you want to at least appear good? Put 3 cupcakes to start the season. It's not rocket science. Don't put 2 fucking top 10 teams in America on the top of your schedule to start the year, so that the entire world can tell you how trash you are when you beat the rest of your schedule when everybody else plays the same teams. Respectfully, I'm sorry. Sig's got my respect. I know that bet's going to be a loss. They are definitely going to get their team total in wins because they are almost halfway there, and he was smart enough to schedule a bunch of bullshit to start the year. Just like he did last year, he understands it's going to give me a chance. Remember, this is a guy who played to qualify for a playoff for almost 20 fucking years. I think he understands how this game goes when it's 12 teams in the selection group. Feel me? I think that's something that we took for granted. He understands. You don't got to be perfect. You just got to beat who's in front of you. And if a team's not supposed to be on the field with you, beat the shit out of them. Pretty simple.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. That makes sense, Sam. Now,
Can I add?
Yeah,
I gotta add. I mean, this is probably, arguably, one of the biggest home games that Indiana's ever had. I saw they've played 75 times, and this is the second time they've both been ranked against each other. And it's at night. It's NBC. It's the Big Ten's primetime network. I mean, yeah. I think
the Michigan game last year was probably the biggest one they've had.
Yeah, we don't talk about that game.
I was there. I'd love to talk about that game.
Negative 8 yards in the second half, and we lost.
Sick. Yeah, y'all were fucking terrible. But the trenches gave you a chance for a lot of it. They gave you a chance. Y'all were in it. Y'all were in the game.
Mason Graham looked good.
Kicked 3 field goals inside the 10. Yeah.
Lord Jesus.
Extension.
We get on to the hold on.
Yeah, let's keep it pushing. Again, you see that at the bottom. Subscribe. Daily Bread Network. We in the building. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Oof,
we got
Miami Heat, y'all.
We got to talk about the this Texas Tech game just because I'm prepared to say that Utah is going to easily win the Big 12. And it won't even be close. They might go undefeated. They're that much. I think they're that much better than everybody.
I don't know why this line is at 3.5. That's what I was going to start with. I probably think it should be at a touchdown. Personally, I mean, we look at what Utah has done so far. We don't have to discuss the situation in UCLA. We don't. You already know what's happening. Coach is fired after 3 weeks. It is what it is. And what, they're in Wyoming last week? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, so again, 3.5. Texas Tech is the darling of, college football right now because they decided to dig into the oil wells and put it into the football program. But Sosa, since you think Utah is going to easily win the Big 12, how are you feeling about this matchup today? Is it going to be BTA?
I think they win the game by more than a touchdown. I obviously, people believe in Texas Tech. They got a bunch of money being pumped into the program. They look like something. People like their head coach. I like this game at Utah. I think Whittingham's probably the most disrespected coach in America. He's good for 10 wins every year.
At Utah.
Yeah, Whittingham's the best coach, one of the best coaches in America. It's just the last couple of years, he just hasn't had a quarterback, like a competent.
He had the quarterback, he just didn't have him healthy.
Right. Yeah, Rising was hurt, and they kept lying to us about him being a game time decision.
No, don't bring it up, man.
15 straight games. So I think that's what it is for Whittingham, man. Like I think you got a quarterback. I like Dampier. The defense is what it is. They're going to be good in the trenches. The secondary is going to make plays. It's just what you've come to expect from Utah. I think that Texas Tech will probably will be competitive, but I like Utah in this conference. I think that last year was a bit of a mishmash. Why? Because Utah didn't have a quarterback. They easily had the best defense in the conference. It wasn't even close.
They had Isaac Wilson starting 9 games.
Yeah, they just couldn't score points. So I think that's Whittingham's addressed that. I just don't think Tech can last with them in the trenches for 4 quarters. I just simply think it's that cut and dry. And their quarterback will probably make a couple of mistakes. I think Utah covers, probably wins the game by more than a touchdown. Just no one's walking into Salt Lake City and just putting it on Utah either. That ain't happening. That don't happen.
So, sneaky tough place to play. Sneaky tough place to play for sure.
Indeed.
Sam, how you feeling?
Pretty much exactly what Sosa said. I'm on Utah in this one. I got 3 earlier in the week. 3.5 now. I'd still play it. And exactly why Sosa said, I think Utah is one of the best tackle tandems in the country. One of their guys is going to go top 10 in the draft next year. their trenches are elite compared to the rest of the Big 12. And I think Dampier looks really sharp to start the year. I understand it was against UCLA and a couple of cupcakes, but still very efficient quarterback, and Whittingham's just a great coach. So I take Utah on this one. I think Texas Tech is on the come up as a program in the Big 12, but I don't think they're there yet. And an early start in Utah. I would lean the over as well, but like I said, the early start, I think it may be a little bit sluggish to start the game. So I'm going to stay off of that one, but lean that. And then, but Utah -3 is official play.
All right, Jake, how we feeling?
Same way. I'm in agreement with everybody. Yeah, I mean, I keep seeing people talk about Texas Tech online like, oh, they got an elite D-line. They've played Kent State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and some other scrub. Like, how do you know their defensive line is elite? And the most intriguing thing to me in this game is the total. I'm taking the under 58 on Caesars. Texas Tech has averaged 58 a game, and Utah's averaged, I think, 44 a game. I mean, I thought this total would be in the 60s. I'm going to go the under 58 and -3.5 with Utah in this one. I think Devin Dampier is a really good quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like Devin Dampier. I think, he kind of flew under the radar for me, but I like it. Kid's good. All right. Got anything else? We good? All right. I don't think that's it. That's all the games we got. We in best bets? I mean, look, you tell me. And this heat out here, y'all, I see why y'all was passing the hell out on the sideline. So that right tackle for y'all, that was just giving up at the end of that game. Jesus Christ. If I had to play football in full pads and this shit, I'd be dead too. Oh, yeah, I forgot, Jake.
There's one more game that we got to talk about before we get up out of here, obviously.
Oh, my bad, Jake. I didn't mean to. My fault, Jake. All right. We got Baby Mahomes hosting the Michigan Wolverines, okay? Now, obviously, Michigan, you guys' interim head coach while Sharon serves his suspension, does sound like a mob boss from Goodfellas, okay? I totally understand that. But he has opened up the playbook, which I think Jake has talked about, ad nauseum this week, and how much he thinks that Bryce needs that. I don't think Bryce needs training wheels either. That's just me. I think he's that good of a quarterback to where if you let him do his thing and he kind of has bumps and bruises, you live with that in the situation that you're currently in this year. So Michigan going on the road, is it at 2.5 still, Jake, or is it at 1.5? I saw it at 1.5 on Hard Rock. So we have
it's at 1.5. It seems like the sharp money's coming in on Nebraska.
Okay. Well, obviously, we want to know where your money is going.
I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you picks. My entire FanDuel is going on Michigan money line today. The entire FanDuel account is going on Michigan. If you lose, the season's over. I've watched Nebraska. They played my alma mater week 1. That's the only team with a pulse they've played. They played Houston Christian and was it Georgia Southern? They played some other scrub. Sorsby ran all over them on that opening night game on Thursday night. I think if you utilize Bryce in the run game and Haynes, I think they should be able to run the ball at will. Our defensive line needs to get pressure. They've been lackluster, to say the least, this year from what we're used to. And yeah, I think if you let Bryce play like Bryce can, I think you win this game. I'm not really worried about baby Mahomes over there. I think we win going away, and we'll see where that puts us going forward. We got a bye next week, so we'll see what happens after that.
All right, fair enough. Sam, how are you feeling about this one?
The hate watch continues. Nebraska plus 2.5. That's all I got.
All right, fair enough. Sosa, how are we feeling?
All right. We got two teams that have young quarterbacks that everybody has hit with the G word at some point in the last 2 years. Both of them got hit with the one coming out of high school, where I'm telling you, and the other one coming out of high school. Am I lying?
Yeah,
no.
When he ended up being a traitor. But yeah, keep going.
But this
This is a game of they traded both years schools.
This is me and Sam tag team hate watch.
Look at these
This
two
is
dudes.
what
Look at
a
look at
tag team
that.
hate watch.
Right.
Unfortunately, they both
You
can't
know,
lose.
did you notice how the tone had nothing to do with the game? It was just like when you talk about Raiola, he calls him Baby Mahomes because he just wants to make. Listen, if you buy into the Baby Mahomes thing, you're just not gonna like the kid. And I realized that because that was my problem. I was like, oh, this dude's a fucking cosplaying somebody that's still alive. Like, that's weird, right? Like, but I think with Raiola, listen. This is the biggest game in Nebraska in a cool minute, and it's also the only game that's stopping Nebraska from making the college football playoff. It's the only game. They play Penn State, which if they win today, I think they can lose that game and still get in with one. They'll still have a chance at being in the conference championship.
They can be the Indiana of last year.
Correct. Exact same situation. After this game, look at the schedule. Outside of Penn State, they should win every single game. I think today is when we figure out what Bryce Underwood is. As far as being a freshman who there's a bunch of tout on your name. A lot of people believe that you're the guy. You saw them unlock the offense last week so he can be a runner. Jake mentioned something very important. Sorsby was wildly effective in the second half against Nebraska when they played. That is without question. He was able to move around. Obviously, he threw for 50 fucking yards going into the fourth quarter, which was like they couldn't throw the ball at all. And I think that's something that we just haven't seen from Michigan yet is like consistency in the pass game, in my opinion. I think that Bryce has missed some throws. The receivers aren't that amazing either. So I'm not here to like shit on them or say anything else. I think the receiving room in Michigan is a bit average. It's middle of the pack without question. And it's going to be on him to make the plays to make for the receivers. He's got to be accurate, and he's going to have to be able to use his legs. End of the day, I'm rocking with Nebraska today. I talked a lot of shit about them at the beginning of the year. I think they're a good football team. I picked them to win over 8 games. And if I'm going to lose the 8.5 on Indiana, I really need Nebraska to win today. So we're rocking with Nebraska. Obviously on the money line, if you guys want to be safe and think it's going to be a 1-point game, by all means, be that jackass that takes the 1.5. Go for it, buddy. Listen, I like Raiola now because I no longer look at him as a wannabe Mahomes. You look at the tape, the kid is talented. He does have the physical tools. He can make all the throws. He's actually running the ball a little bit this year. Obviously, like y'all said, they played Cincinnati and Little Sisters of the Poor. So I understand why we would not be very happy or very, very incentivized to believe that these numbers are sustainable or going to go crazy. My favorite play in the game is Dylan Raiola to throw 2 touchdowns, get it at plus 178. I think that he's going to be able to do a little bit against this Michigan team. And yeah, I honestly just believe that I think that what is the coach's name? I think that Rule is going to have this team prepared. I think they know it's a big game. It's a huge game at the crib. You need this one. Give me Nebraska to win by a touchdown plus. But we're going to talk about that later on.
All right.
0-27 in their last 27 versus ranked teams.
I know, dog. I know. I know. I seen that, and I was like, Michigan shouldn't be ranked.
But Notre Dame should be. That's all right.
Look, the fix is in. I told you at the beginning.
I think we would beat Oklahoma.
Nah.
The fix is in.
We're better than y'all.
And by the way, I had that tweet about teams that are. Never mind. I won't talk about the Texas Longhorns this week. They play a real team next week. Anyway, all right, we're in best bets. Who wants to go first?
Oof.
You can go, Sosa. It don't matter.
You're on mute.
Whoever talks first. Nope. He's looking something.
I'm scrolling through my bets.
All right, I'll go. I'll just
Go ahead.
get the CVS out of the way. This is as true a CVS receipt as we've had in a while. I think we're at 13. I think we're at 13 plays a day.
There we go.
Nebraska plus 2.5. Just said that one. Oklahoma 6.5, and the over in that one at 47.5. Miami minus 7.5. Illinois, Indiana over 52.5. Utah minus 3, and Tulane plus 11.5. Those are the ones we've already given out. Tennessee minus 39.5. They beat the shit out of bad teams. They beat
Yeah.
the shit out of bad teams. They are coming off a tough loss. I don't think it's going to stop them in any way. I think they easily cover this number. Heupel loves to put up 70 points on these bad teams, so I'm going to take that one. Florida State, minus 44.5. Kent State gave up 62 points to Texas Tech. They gave up 31 points to Buffalo. I think Florida State absolutely rolls this game, probably by like 60 plus. And I will take Florida State team total over 30.5 for the first half. Then a few overs to close it out. Baylor, Arizona State, over 59.5. West Virginia, Kansas, over 54.5. Good win for West Virginia last week. Think they're coming off of an emotional letdown or come down. They're on a come down game. I think Kansas has a good offense. They're going to push the ball up and down the field. They're coming off a bye, which means Jalen Daniels should be healthy. But I still don't believe in their defense, so I think this game goes over. And then South Carolina, Missouri, over 47.5. South Carolina, like we told you before the season started, is the most overrated team in the country entering the year. Mizzou. I like Mizzou this year. I like Bo Perbula. I like what he's doing. I think that team is going to be firing under the lights tonight. Sellers is playing, which only helps me or only makes me think that this game is going over even more. So that's the end of it. 13 plays today.
All right, Jake, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I only got
let's do
one best bet. That's we're only giving out one best bet. Miami, Ohio Redhawks money line at home versus UNLV, plus 100 on the money line on Caesars. That's my favorite bet. You know what? I'll give out two. Michigan money line minus 115 on FanDuel. Those are my two best bets.
So go ahead.
My fault. You ready?
My bad. I was just looking at something that someone had sent me. All right, this is what the deal is. I got 4-player props and I got 6 plays. Okay, I'm gonna explain every one of them to you. Okay, Oklahoma QB John Mateer over 1.5 touchdown passes was a plus 154 and plus 550 for 3. I think that he's going to be forced to be made into a passer today. I think he passes the ball relatively well. I think he throws 2 or 3 touchdowns, plus 154 for 2, plus 550 for 3. I had no choice but to sprinkle. Okay. I like Dylan Raiola, like I just said, over 1.5 touchdown passes against Michigan. That's at plus 178 on FanDuel. Worth the bet simply because of the price. Okay. The other guy I love is Devin Dampier, over 1.5 touchdown passes. At minus 114, I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want against Texas Tech. And then from another game that I love, this one's juiced. It's Kevin Jennings, the quarterback from SMU, over 1.5 touchdown passes. Absolutely love that matchup against TCU. If the quarterback from Abilene Christian can go 65% and throw 2 touchdowns against TCU, Kevin Jennings with SMU and that talent, he should be able to do that, no problem. Okay. No, my 6 sides in totals, or my 5 sides in totals. SMU team total over 29.5. No reason why they shouldn't be able to score 30 points against TCU. Okay. Notre Dame's team total over 39.5 and minus 118. The only thing that will save Notre Dame now is that any team that's not supposed to be on the field with you have to score points. That's another reason why I'm on Clemson's team total over 35.5 today against Syracuse. Why? These teams now have 2 losses. They were both ranked top 5 to start the season. The only way for them to return or have some level of a case for an NCAA playoff berth is the fact that they scored style points against their opponents. Obviously, Notre Dame plays USC in 2 weeks. The season might really be over then. Not going to talk about that, though, because we got a couple of weeks until that happens. 2 other plays. One, I was on the other side as Jake with the Texas Tech Utah over. He's on the under. I like the over. One of us got to win, so I'm not going to push on that one. And then the other one, Sam mentioned it. You like the over as well in the Baylor-Arizona State game. I don't think you can go wrong with that. I think that Baylor gives it up. Baylor can score. Arizona State gives it up. Arizona State can score. It's a perfect situation to get around 75 points minimum. I don't know how the number's so low. But yeah, as the season goes on, you already know I'm going to have more action. Why? Because we know what we're seeing. We're seeing what we're seeing. Also, might think about running back that Bryce ladder from a couple of weeks ago. Not that I'm mad at it, but I mean, if they're going to unlock them the way they did last week, and if we watched what the quarterback from Cincinnati did, I don't think there's any reason as to why we should fear Bryce Underwood going for 50, 60, 70 rushing yards, respectfully.
Absolutely.
I forgot to add Indiana -6.5. That's the biggest one of the day for me. That's the biggest bet.
I added a 14th Florida team total under 20.5 +100.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get mine out the way. I like Auburn's team total. It's at 19.5. I think they get 20 points. That's just me personally. I also like the over in that game. Obviously, again, I talked about it already. I'm with Sam. All right. I don't care that Lenoris is playing. The line didn't move, and the line didn't care either. I got Mizzou -9.5. I got their team total at over 30 points. We gave you Vandy money line last week and the spread. South Carolina is just not a special team. They don't got a lot. They really just don't. So I'm also on Utah 3.5. What else? Under in the Miami and Florida game in the first half. And yeah, I'm with Sam. I think Tennessee beats the piss out of whoever they're playing. I forgot who it is, but bounce back spot. You score 44 on Georgia, doesn't fare well for Little Sisters of the Poor. All right, well, we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for joining again. Please subscribe to Daily Bread Network. Follow all these gentlemen on their personal profiles. Sosa, Sam, Jake, any last words before we go?
Sucks to be a Florida Gator.
Sheesh.
Still thankful every day I don't have to cheer for Brian Kelly.
And there we have it. We wouldn't have it any other way. Well, I'm going to go have a terrible day. I'm going to go get a massage on the beach. Talk to y'all later. Deuces!